Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your interest in UK immigration options, and we are happy to share them with you today. The name of our company is Beyond Residence and Citizenship, and we've been in the industry for over 20 years. We have more than 30 different countries that we work with for both residence and citizenship by investment program. Today we will share our favorite program, United Kingdom, and all the immigration options which are available in the UK. The United Kingdom requires much introduction. Everybody knows where it is located. London is the capital of the world, and United Kingdom offers the best possible education in the world, excellent healthcare, which has been proven to be very important, especially this year, 2020, the year of the pandemic. So life expectancy is excellent. It's an English-speaking country. And the climate and the weather, despite the common misconception, are actually second to none as well. We never see snow, and not that many countries in the world can boast that. So if we look at the UK immigration options currently available, the three programs which I believe are most worthy of mention are the Tier 1 UK Investor Program, Innovator Program, and Representative of Overseas Business. And these are the main criteria for the immigration options discussed. We will go into each and one of them in more detail. So I believe that UK Investor mostly everyone is aware of. It's been around for years. The minimum required investment is £2 million. And the investment would need to be done in UK active and trading companies. Therefore, this investment is returnable. I would say most of our clients, they invest in UK companies like Vodafone, British Petroleum, British Telecom, Tesco, Rolls-Royce, AstraZeneca, and so on and so forth. This is usually a portfolio of corporate bonds like Barclays, HSBC, or equities or shares of UK companies. And the investment is done minimum for 5 years. If it's a £2 million portfolio, after 5 years, the investor is free to sell the bonds once they receive indefinite leave to remain in the UK, and that way all the funds would be returned. Since it's usually AAA securities, AAA rated, therefore the investment is very safe and the funds are not at risk. So the most important benefits are the fact that Tier 1 investor visa can be processed very quickly. We can actually get the decision with the Home Office within a space of 1 week if we apply in country, or usually with no more than 6 weeks if we apply overseas. There's no requirement of English language knowledge for the first 5 years. And with the Tier 1 investor visa, it is possible to work in the UK, to study in the UK, to reside, to start your own business, or to do nothing. It is also possible to invest under accelerated routes. If you invest £5 million, then the main applicant will gain indefinite leave to remain in the UK in 3 years. If you invest minimum 10 million, then the permanent residence can be achieved for the main applicant in 2 years. You can see the timeline for the Tier 1 Investor Immigration Program. So the first residence permit is granted for 3 years, provided investment has not been withdrawn and the applicant is in compliance with all the UK immigration rules. In 3 years, there would be another extension granted for 2 years. Under the 2 million route, in 5 years, the main applicant and family are eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain, which is permanent residence in the UK. And 12 months later, they can apply for British nationality if they were so inclined. What is important to understand that indefinite leave to remain in the UK, once granted, has no expiry date. It is only possible to lose indefinite leave to remain if one hasn't been back to the UK for more than 2 years. However, if this is not the case, then indefinite leave to remain in the UK can be maintained forever. You can see the requirements for English language after 5 years at the level of B1, and also there would be a test of life in the UK. which is a basic multiple choice true false test, only 24 questions, and you have to achieve 75% correctly in order to pass. For residency requirements, main applicant and each dependent are required to spend 185 days in the UK. For citizenship, the requirements are stricter. It has to be an average 75% of your time spent in the UK in order to achieve British nationality successfully. So the main advantages of the Tier 1 investor visa, as discussed, it's an English-speaking country, best education in the world, excellent tax planning solutions available in the UK. It is straightforward, and in more than 15 years of my own personal experience with Tier 1 investor visas, we have never seen an investor who hasn't been able to recover their investment after they have completed the qualifying period. The processing is very fast, which is amazing if we compare it with the United States or Canada, similar jurisdictions, where the processing of the initial application can take 2-3 years. Obviously, in the UK, if you can comfortably move to London in a space of 2-3 months, that actually sounds too good to be true, but it's true. And last but not least, it gives the right to live, work, and study in the UK. And many of our clients who are already students in the UK, for example, in university, who intend to continue their life here, instead of being on a student visa, which is a waste of time and doesn't lead to settlement, they prefer to switch to the investor route so that they are already on track to settlement and British passport. The only disadvantage is obviously having to come up with a substantial amount of £2 million, and the fact that citizenship can be achieved after 5 or 6 years at the earliest. Moving on, this is a case study very recently. I would say that at least 50% of our clients for investor visa these days, like I mentioned, are students who are studying at the university and they want to remain here to continue their professional career. It is quite difficult to get sponsored by prospective UK employers because of the way that the immigration rules are structured and the fact that the UK is trying to obviously protect the resident labor market. In this case, we actually have quite a few clients who have been gifted the 2 million by their parents. And that way they have the right to seek any sort of gainful employment in the UK. They can start their own business, they can work, they can reside, they can study, they are free in their choices. So they achieve all the flexibility, and the 2 million would be returned to them after 5 years once they qualify for indefinite leave to remain. The next option to be discussed is the UK Innovator Visa, which was only introduced in March 2019, and it is a new program. There's still some growing pains. The most important element is that there should be an endorsement from a UK endorsing body. So the prospective innovator, the prospect, has to provide the business plan to the endorsement body, and the endorsing body will decide whether the business plan complies with the requirements of viability, scalability, and innovation. If they are happy that these 3 requirements are met, they will issue the endorsement, and it is smooth sailing from then onwards. Actually, under the Innovative Visa, the permanent residence in the UK can be achieved in only 3 years, as opposed to 5 under the investment route, which is discussed. However, the endorsement bodies are quite strict, and they're looking for genuine innovators who have genuine, innovative, viable, and scalable business ideas. And if we are unable to convince them that the business plan is indeed viable, scalable, and innovative, therefore endorsement is not granted, then the application cannot go ahead. The main advantages, of course, are the fact that you can achieve indefinite leave to remain in only 3 years, and there's a much lower investment threshold of only £50,000 in a business. But the disadvantages are that the requirements for indefinite leave to remain are not straightforward. not easily achievable because you would have to show that you've achieved, let's say, intellectual property, copyright patents, or that you've achieved turnover of minimum 500,000 and 20% of that from overseas expert, or that you have created minimum 10 jobs or 5 jobs with a minimum salary of 25,000. Citizenship, again, is only possible after minimum 5 years of residence. And also the innovator would be restricted. He would only be able to work for the project that he's received the endorsement for, but not be able to take any sort of gainful employment or easily change to another route or study. So last but not least is the representative of overseas business visa. Representative of overseas business visa, we believe, is one of the well-hidden treasures of the immigration world. And the biggest advantage is that it is possible to move to the UK with zero investment. Because in a nutshell, any overseas reputable and credible and successful overseas company has the right to send a representative to the UK, provided that they have the need for having a subsidiary, representative, or a branch in the UK. In order to qualify, we have to show that the main applicant has been a senior employee of the overseas company, that he is capable of making decision at the top manager level, and he can be a decision maker in his own right. He cannot be the majority shareholder of the overseas company, and the UK entity has to be engaged in the same type of business as the overseas company. In this case, once we have a credible business plan in mind, once we have a credible business plan to demonstrate and that the need for the mother company to have a representative in the UK, the application should be approved. And the timeline is similar. The first residence permit for the main applicant, spouse, and children under 18 would be issued for 3 years. After 3 years, provided that the parent company confirms that they still need the representative in the UK, the leave would be extended for 2 more years. And after 5 years in the UK, the whole family would be eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain. As of now, and that is the biggest difference between investor visa, for example, and a representative of overseas business, only the main applicant has to demonstrate that he's maintained residency requirements in the UK, while spouse and children, dependents would be granted indefinitely to remain alongside the main applicant. And as of now, there's no requirement for them to maintain residency requirements in the UK. This is a substantial difference and a big advantage of this route. So only the main applicant maintains in 185 days in the UK. If they do, then they successfully get indefinite to remain and provide the same for their dependent spouse and partner, for their partner and children. Every individual is on their own clock if they wish to apply for British nationality, and they're eligible to do so 12 months after they receive indefinite leave to remain. You can see the requirements on the screen. So the main advantage is it is the most cost-efficient option of moving to the UK. The dependent partner is free to take all sorts of employment, start their own business and study in the UK. So only the main applicant is restricted on what they can do in the UK. The processing time is also quite quick. This application can only be submitted outside of the UK in the country of origin where the client holds residence or citizenship. I would say we usually receive the approval within 12 weeks. So far, we've had 100% success rate with representative overseas business visas. And other advantages include that the dependent children can easily study in the UK in both public and private schools. There's no minimum investment requirement. There's no requirement to have an office in the UK. You completely can work from home, absolutely. You are not obligated to invest a particular amount of money. You do not have to create jobs in the UK. You don't have to demonstrate financial success turnover as long as you can confirm that the representative has generated and provide evidence that the representative has generated business for the mother company over the 5 years. it's very basic English language requirement at the level of A1. And again, like I said, only the main applicant needs to maintain residency requirements. The only disadvantages are, again, the citizenship is only possible up to 6 years. And obviously, the main applicant can only work for the mother company that sent him. Just recently had a case of a Nigerian family moving to the UK. The main applicant has been the top manager in the company for a year and a half. Now they have moved here, budget of 200,000. They didn't even have to go into that, and they actually spent it on purchasing a property in the UK instead. So in order to qualify for indefinite leave to remain, the main requirements are, of course, residency requirements of minimum 185 days in the UK. There's an English requirement of minimum of a level B1 English language speaking test, IELTS, life skills, or Trinity College, and being able to meet life in the UK test, passing it. And like I mentioned, there's no expiry for indefinite leave to remain in the UK once it is granted, provided the applicant hasn't been away from the UK for more than 2 years. So I would say that the main advantage of our company is that we always look at all the options available, and we always try to define the objective of the client. What is it that they're trying to achieve, whether it's visa-free travel, whether it's a plan B, whether it's tax planning, whether they're actually planning to get up and move. So we always try to look at the defining factor, what drives them, what are they trying to achieve, what is their objective, what is their goal. And I would say that most of these can be achieved in the UK, or of course in other countries, but even in the UK, obviously British passport offers excellent visa-free travel. It's an excellent second base or plan B. It's an English-speaking country. For high net worth individuals, we have a remittance tax-based system for non-domicile UK tax residents. And if you're prepared to actually spend time in the UK, it is a straightforward way to gain citizenship in the UK. So in order for you to identify sales opportunities, I just mentioned a few case studies. So I would say 50% of our clients are students who want to convert to being able to stay in the UK, work in the UK, and build their life here. Another probably 50% are mothers of minor children. There is indeed a visa called Parent of a Child at School, but it is not an immigration visa. It doesn't lead to settlement or citizenship. So instead, if they come to the UK in as an investor or in a innovator capacity or as a representative of overseas business, maintain the residency requirements. So they would be on track to settlement. So while they're here with the minor children being at school, the children at the same time would qualify for indefinite leave to remain, and so would the spouse, even if he is away and doesn't maintain days in the UK. So there's many clients who already have family, for example, India, Pakistani. There's many families relocating to the UK, I would say 90% of the time for education of their children. That is very true for all our Chinese and Russian families. And there's some who are actually driven by business expansion and who want to seek new business opportunities in the EU. And the UK is an excellent base. We currently have an Indian client there are actually 2 Indian families who are expanding their business, and they choose London as their base. So we are happy to take any questions you may have. We are always available, always at your disposal. These are the contacts for our London office. And thank you very much for your attention.